Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Elias Castillo and you're watching Garden Forge. Today is March 20th and I want to show you how to plant your potatoes. I've recently went to my local hardware store and I found some seed potatoes. These are starting to sprout and they have eyes in them, and you can use these for planting your potatoes. You can plant potatoes right now in the middle of March and you can cover them up with dirt and they should be okay through a few frosts, as long as the plants themselves don't get too big. In order to plant potatoes, you want to work your soil with a shovel or something that is going to make the soil fluffy. The potatoes grow underground and these little eyes turn into the plants, and the tubers is what we eat, and they produce tubers at the bottom. So they need loose soil in order to produce lots of potatoes. So you want to find a bed or a pot that has very nice and fluffy soil that you can plant this into. So you're going to dig a hole about 16 inches deep if you can, and put the potato at the very bottom and add about 3 to 4 inches of soil on top. So you're going to leave that well, the potato at the bottom of the well, and fill it up with soil to here. As the plant starts growing, you're going to take soil from the sides of that hole and bury the plant as it comes up. The more stem you have buried, the more opportunity there is for tubers for potatoes to form along the bottom of that stem underneath the soil. That's called hilling up potatoes. So when the plant gets to the very top of the soil, you're going to mulch it up with some leaves or compost, and you're going to continue to hill them up for about 2 months. This potato should be ready in about 90 days from today. So April, May, June. In the middle of June, I'm going to be harvesting these potatoes. This particular variety is called Red Pontiac, and they do really well in my area, and I recommend that you go to your local hardware store or nursery to see if they have some seed potatoes. So I have 2 raised beds here, and they are about 3 feet by 5 feet long. And I'm going to be planting 12 potatoes per bed. So I'm going to be doing almost 1 every foot or so. So you can see I've made these holes in my beds before I plant the potatoes. I am going to be planting them pretty deep in here. I'm going to dig even deeper to put the seed potato at the very bottom, and then I'm going to cover it with about 3 inches of soil. So as the potato starts to grow, I'm going to be taking soil from the side here and covering up that plant in order to give it enough room to grow some potatoes. When you buy your potatoes, there's going to be obviously different sizes of potatoes. So for a golf ball size potato, I'm going to plant this as 1 plant. But this one here is pretty big, so it's almost like a baseball size. So I'm going to choose a nice little area and cut it in half. And when I cut it in half, I'm going to make sure that I leave some of this eyes on either side. So I'm probably going to cut this one right here and leave eyes on both sides of that potato. So let me show you how easy it is to do. So you see this one here, I'm going to put my knife there, I'm going to start my cut there, and then just make an incision like you would be cutting potatoes, and then you just split it in half. Simple as that. So now you have 2 halves, and make sure that you have little eyes on either of those. Now when you plant these, make sure that you plant it where the eyes are pointing up a little bit. Some people like to cut their potatoes ahead before planting, so they'll cut them like 3 days and let them sit on the counter and kind of cure for a few days before planting them. I have found that I don't have any issues cutting on the same day that I'm planting. If I had a spot where it was too wet or too soggy, maybe I would do the cutting on 3 days before, but I don't think there's an issue. When you're ready to plant your potato, dig the hole as much as you can, as much as the soil will allow, where it's loosened. Here, this part is not loosened anymore. So I'm just going to put my half potato here, put it at the very bottom, and then I'm going to add soil just to cover it. And this will start sprouting in a few days. And I'm going to do that all along here until I'm done planting all my potatoes. It doesn't get much easier than that for planting potatoes. All you have to do is water every week or so and make sure that they stay moist but not too wet, and you'll have new potatoes in about 3 months. I hope you guys are able to plant some potatoes this year. New potatoes taste so much better when they come out of the ground, and there's no potato that you're going to buy at the store that's going to be able to taste the same. So even though they are cheap to buy at the grocery store, the flavor is what I do it for. The flavor is so much more intense, and it's so much more gratifying to eat a potato from your garden. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next video.